Following the electrification of the Gotthard line, the main lines in the Midland region were also covered by overhead contact wires. This made it necessary to put in an order for electric mainline locomotives of a new design, as the types used in the Gotthard Mountain were unsuitable for the Midland region due to their low maximum speed. The SBB initially ordered 3 different designs, which generated different types of locomotive with different drive concepts. The AE36 design with Buckley drive prevailed, and a total of 114 locomotives were built in several lots. The AE36 locomotives were put into operation between 1921 and 1929 and remained in regular service for over 70 years. Initially deployed in the Superior Express service along the east-west axis, these locomotives also proved their worth in regional, postal and freight train services. The exceptionally finely detailed plastic housing is equipped with delicately worked holding rails and many separate plug-in parts. The Edition model features an elaborate Buckley drive design. The differences in the various construction series, such as the lamps and the current collectors, are of course reproduced in line with their respective prototype. The mid-mounted motor with flywheel in a locomotive frame made from metal injection molding ensures quiet and powerful running. The drive and leading axles are designed as finely spoked wheels. In digital mode, light functions can be switched separately as appropriate for the Swiss archetype. A sound decoder in the digital versions provides comprehensive, prototypical sound and light functions such as machine room lighting or the characteristic switchgear sparks. The passenger train tender locomotive, designated the Class 77 by the Österreichische Bundesbahnen, was procured from 1913 in several series up until 1927. This steam locomotive in Pacific construction was approved for a maximum speed of 85 km per hour. Almost every train in Austria was hauled by Class 77 locomotives. The almost completely revised design of this steam locomotive model impresses with its fine engravings and details, as well as separately attached boiler lines. Sharply engraved rows of rivets and freestanding holding rails and handrails complete the perfect appearance of the vehicle. The undercarriage with its delicate spoked wheels is also fitted with diverse details. In addition, the prototypical implementation of the striking front end features impressive metal buffers. Another eye-catcher is the driver's cab roof, with its perfectly accurate details. A motor with flywheel, which acts on the third coupling axle via a gearbox, provides plenty of traction, and the controller is made from fine cast metal. In technical terms too, this locomotive fulfills customers' every wish, with a Plax 22 interface, LED lighting, and the prototypical sound functions in the digital versions. In digital mode, the engine and driver's cab lighting are also switchable. The cleanly implemented paintwork has been rounded off with prints of all lettering to produce fantastic contemporary models. And now this unique model can roll once again onto the tracks of Austrian steam locomotive fans. At the time of its commissioning in the year 1978, the Series 1044 with an hourly output of 5,400 kilowatts was the strongest 4-axle electric locomotive in the world. Until 1995, a total of 216 locomotives were put into operation. From 2002 onwards, they were redesignated as Series 1144 and are still in use today. The highlight of the new shape variations is the implementation of the prototype locomotive 1044-01. The larger driver's cab side windows without wind deflectors and the Tafel 1044 design are the most conspicuous features. Here, the company number has been mounted onto the front ends of a separately attached panel. The engraved lettering panels on the sidewalls have also been implemented on the housing to an extremely high level of accuracy. In addition, a set of etched signs are enclosed for customers to mount themselves. All the appropriate modifications have also been observed on the roof. These include the separately attached holding rails and prototypical fan grills made from perforated plate on the slanting roof, the brake tower grille as a finely etched part, and the number of roof ribs. In addition, the bogies and axle bearing caps feature fine engravings. Particular characteristics of the Series 1144 include the new primary current converter, the main switch, and the buffer. For the first time, the antennae have also been redesigned to fit contemporary model construction standards, and a separately attached cable for the current collectors has been added. Another completely new feature is the driver's cab lighting on all models, which can be switched in digital mode. The increasingly popular transportation of powdered materials at the end of the 1950s, in particular of cement, made it necessary to procure new silo wagons. These wagons, which were used for the mass transport of bulk goods, were the property of cement and lime producers and were listed as private wagons in the fleet of the Czechoslovakian state railways. Since the fall of the Berlin Wall, these wagons have also operated in neighbouring countries and can therefore also be seen, for example, in Germany and Austria. The models of the silo wagon are produced as delicate reproductions appropriate for the respective railway administrations and the epoch. Starting with the beautifully engraved bogies on the CSD construction and moving on to the elaborately depicted underbody, right up to the finely perforated walk-on grids between the silos and the separately attached silo covers, all details have been perfectly replicated. In addition to the freestanding, filigree access ladders and holding rails, the separately applied and multicoloured drain cocks and valves are a wonderful accentuation. The equally accurate reproduction of the brakeman's platform features a finely perforated grid. New on ROCO models with this degree of detailing is that the models are now completely fitted at the factory. The accurate, multicoloured paintwork has been rounded off with superbly clean prints of all lettering in order to bring colourful freight wagons onto model railway systems. The accurate, multicoloured paintwork has been rounded off with superbly clean prints of all lettering in order to bring colourful freight wagons onto model railway systems. The Netherlands State Railways received the 4-axle electric locomotives of the 1600 series based on the French electric locomotive BB 7200. In the year 1981, when they were introduced, they were the strongest NS locomotives in the fleet. The beautifully engraved plastic housing delights with its decorative details. The cooling grills on the sidewall feature finely engraved slats. Holding rails made from metal have been mounted next to the access doors. Around the front windows too, the handrail, windscreen wipers and sockets have been separately attached. The front end with its running boards made from perforated metal are also beautifully implemented. The finely engraved bogie panels create depth on this model. The driver's cab steps have been separately attached to the bogie frame. Particular care was taken with the roof section design. Completely newly developed current collectors with invisible attachments make this model particularly impressive. The interference current filter coil made from finest metal wire and the separately attached horn box are highly striking and have been implemented in line with the respective prototype. The mid-mounted motor with flywheel mass, which is suspended in a metal frame, generates the powerful drive on all 4 axles. The headlights, which alternate depending on the driving direction, and the red rear lights are illuminated using LEDs. The headlights and driver's cab lighting can be switched separately in digital mode. A sound decoder in the digital version provides comprehensive, prototypical sound functions. This new ROCO model will make a fantastic impression when running on your model railway system. In the 1950s, the Österreichische Bundesbahn, Austrian State Railways, began with the conversion of wooden wagon superstructures on metal constructions. Up until 1960, a total of 41 two-axle wagons were converted into so-called Spanten wagon or ribbed wagons in the Hauptwerks at St. Pölten. Some of the cars were equipped with a WC and car heating. They remained in operation until the 1990s, and today they form the basis of the rolling stock for many nostalgic and museum railways. The models are produced with the finest engravings in authentic design and with elaborately replicated underbodies. The perfectly integrated windows with finely engraved handles and the particularly detailed reproduction of the doors are especially striking. In addition to the steps with their fine perforations and the filigree platform details, the almost invisible coupling fastening is a delight to the eye. The cleanly implemented paintwork has been rounded off with prints of all lettering to produce fantastic contemporary models. "35 years of EuroCity." With the introduction of the summer timetable of 1987, many European railway administrations specified cross-border trains with new quality standards regarding car materials, speeds and service. Trains fulfilling these criteria were given the designation EuroCity. We are to celebrate the 35th anniversary of these trains with the EuroCity models Maria Theresia, EC7 and Mont-Cenis. All models are beautifully detailed and feature printed designation signs, brake changeover levers and much more. As with all ROCO products, they will delight customers with their optimized operating functions and perfect rolling characteristics. The anniversary year is to be rounded off with the appropriate locomotives.